And Altaria, SBC, Ilqm now going into their own Stunfisk, getting greeted by the Obstagoon. Obstagoon, of course, is a very decent answer towards the Stunfisk. There will be no realignment there for Ilqm, I guess. And it's going to be a little bit tough to come back from this horrible lead and this horrible side swap now. We're going to see that the Earthquake going to land and going to do some massive damage, but it doesn't really matter too much as they can just go ahead, go for one cross chop here, trying to get some damage on the opposing Pokemon, and we see that this is going to let the go through there. And we will see that another move comes through as well. They win CMP, and of course they're going to let this move go through, as there's nothing that Ilqm can do to come back from this one here. We see the opponent now, like we see Ilqm now going most likely back into the Altaria, waiting out the switch clock here a little bit, because they don't really want to get locked into this matchup against the Galarian Stunfisk with their Altaria again, so they're going to swap out afterwards, directly into the Swampert, and then they're gonna get greeted by the opposing Noctowl. This doesn't really look too good for Ilqm so far, especially as now they even get the boost, which doesn't matter whatsoever, but still kind of funny. And now everything plays out as kind of expected. As we see here, they can just go ahead and go for a Hydro Cannon. Of course, you're going to be able to charge up your moves a little bit faster than the opponent, but also you get way more damage from the fast moves, and also you're a little bit squishier than Noctowl. Noctowl is a very bulky Pokemon, as you can see here, so there's not a lot that Ilqm can do here. This will most likely go to HOUSESTARK. Let's see what's actually going to happen now, as we see that they can go again for another Hydro Cannon. There are two right now. And they might get a shield here right now, but no, HOUSESTARK just decides to no shield. They know that they can perfectly align everything. They are not really too worried about anything here right now. They can shield this move up, and yeah, I don't know, it's kind of tough. They have to shield this one, I guess, and they do shield this one. The only play that I can see here is that they go for two Hydro Cannons, try to get the two final shields, and then go for charge move with their Altaria in the back. But also HOUSESTARK just going to let this move go through. This is kind of interesting. I didn't expect that this would happen. I thought they would shield just their Noctowl and try to win this matchup. But they just rely on their Stunfisk, trying to reach through this Earthquake here. Let's see what they're going to try to do now. They're going to let this move, they of course shield this move here now, as we can see that the Hydro Cannon going to get the first shield, and we see them trying to swap and didn't swap. I think they actually could have got it, but very close though. I think no shielding the Noctowl is a very risky there, but I don't know, it worked out for HOUSESTARK, and this will be a pretty easy game here at the end. There's nothing that Ilqm can do there. I think they don't throw moves anymore anyway, because they know two Rock Slides will be enough. Very RPS game, nothing that Ilqm can do there, but it's fine as they still have 4 matches left, hopefully. Let's see, Rock Slide comes through, and of course they don't throw. They know that there's no way to win this anymore. They had to catch the Earthquake, so very good game there. Still had a chance though, if the Earthquake got caught. Would have been a little bit tricky for HOUSESTARK to come back there, but still very good game there. Let's see what's coming up in the next match. The next match is coming up here right now. Again, such a good lead for HOUSESTARK. It's just annoying. As like an opponent there, it must be so heartbreaking to basically lose every single lead there. I feel a little bit sorry. They're staying in here. I think they already know that they have most likely no chance or whatsoever. They're going to keep one move. They hope that they get out the Ninetales there. They're gonna let this move go through. They have to get out the Charmander. They really have to get out the Charmander, otherwise they have no chance whatsoever. Does HOUSESTARK swap out to this? Nope, they swap into the Noctowl. And with this game is basically over already, without trying to spoil too much. This looks very good for HOUSESTARK, expecting the Altaria in the back, and not going into the Charm, and so basically there, it's going to be pretty easy to win this game, most likely at this point already. Look, it's just RPS to me, so it's just perfect alignment for HOUSESTARK so far. They cannot really do anything. The Noctowl is a very bulky Pokemon. I think it has pretty similar stats to like it's called a Skarmory, a little bit bulkier maybe even. And they can now shield this move up. I think they wanted to throw that. I think that was a CMP. Yeah, it was a CMP, so at least good, something good for Ilqm, but like it's still kind of a bad position right now. They're undercharged. They're going to get even some more energy here. Very good play there by HOUSESTARK, knowing that the opponent wouldn't get to another move anyway. And now Ilqm has to go for one Rock Slide here with their... Oh, never mind. They actually go into their Altaria, which is tough because, of course, you know already that they have a Charmer in the back, and they just going to let this move go through, like let the Noctowl go down, go into the Charmer, and now they can swap back to the perfect answer as soon as the Stunfisk comes in. Ilqm knows at this point of time there is no way to win this game again, and they just got hard read from the get-go. By the way, this is something that's also like RPS in Go Battle League is something different than here. Here it's just a very good read by the by HOUSESTARK in this case, of predicting the line that the opponent would bring, while in RPS in Go Battle League is of course based on completely randomness, which just happens. It's not an algorithm or anything like this. Here it's just the skill of HOUSESTARK predicting the opponent's line, or also a little bit of luck, of course. You can never know what they're actually going to bring, but you can make it pretty safe like this, and yeah, that's just a very good read and also part of the skill there while they're shielding a Rock Slide, which most likely will not matter. Oh, actually, wait. It could matter, but no, they're going for another charge move here. And yeah, I don't know. They have to basically get to 2 Sky attacks now, trying to farm this Obstagoon down. They're actually going to shield it up, which is interesting. But, I mean, still, maybe there's still a play, but they have to swap out now, farm it down, and get to a move, I guess. Nah, there's no way. There's no way. No. They can now go for one charge move. This charge move gonna put them into range for one charm, and they don't get to the move in time for one charm. So yeah, it's going to be a good game. There will nothing going to be there that will still make this game a little bit more interesting. So going into the third game, maybe the final game, we have to see here. Very well played from HOUSESTARK, of course, again. You also still have to play it down, but of course, yeah, team comp from the get-go, won it all, basically. And now going into maybe the final battle, we see another hard win for HOUSESTARK in the lead. It must feel so bad. I don't know, it's so... I don't know. It's very tough for Ilqm to have any chance whatsoever here. Let's see how the backlines are looking. I think this time around the backlines are not as clear, but you're already double weak to Obstagoon, so you really didn't want to face this Pokemon in the lead here. You will only soft lose this matchup actually, as you're going to be able to survive this one Night Slash. Hopefully they don't boost, and they do not boost, which is at least good for Ilqm here, who definitely is a little bit of an underdog in this matchup again, as they have one of the worst possible leads. And we will see now that they are going to... They actually could let this... Actually, they could shield it, theoretically, and get another shield, but they're going to let this move go through. Maybe they could have countered down, I'm not sure. But yeah, now HOUSESTARK has a lot of energy advantage. They swap immediately, actually, into the Noctowl. They most likely going to try to catch a move. Never mind, they're going to store one Hydro Cannon with their Swampert, but HOUSESTARK plays this really smart. This matchup against the Noctowl is actually not the best matchup for the Stunfisk here, as you're going to see here that the Shadow Ball does still a lot of damage, and they have to throw 3 Rock Slides to KO the Noctowl. Of course, Noctowl will always go down basically against the Stunfisk, but it's not really the easiest matchup at all here. As you can see, it doesn't do enough. And it does seem like HOUSESTARK has a very good feeling about what Ilqm always brings, so he plays so well, not falling for like any baits in terms of bringing in the Pokemon that's a little bit too good against it, and always keeping the best Pokemon for class Pokemon for Ilqm in the back. Very nice plays there always, as we see the Rock Slide coming through. Doesn't KO, of course, but now they can go for another one just before they get to the Sky attack. And I will see that they are not shielding. They're most likely going back into their Obstagoon, knowing that they can go for another move here. Are they going to let this move go through? We have to see. It's most likely coming through. No one actually going to shield up. Actually, I think that's the smarter idea, because now you can get a shield again. Of course, HOUSESTARK knows what they have in the back. Of course, HOUSESTARK knows that also the Charm with 2 shields will be enough to KO most likely both Pokemon from Ilqm, the the Stunfisk and the Swampert. Do we see another 3-0 sweep in the finals like before? We have to see. We see that they can go for one Hydro Cannon now, but it doesn't really look good for Ilqm. They also already seeing that, yeah, they have to hit 3 Hydrocans basically in order to KO this Ninetales. And there is basically no way for this. HOUSESTARK seems to be the regional champions for Baltimore, but we have to still wait until this match is over. Maybe Ilqm can still reach this one rock slide with the Stunfisk in the back. We see that the Weather Ball coming through here, getting shielded, of course, and we see the Hydrocan now trying to do some nice damage against this Ninetales, but of course they still have a shield left. And now it comes all down to the Stunfisk. Can it survive 2 charms to get to another rock slide? I do not think so, especially as they can only need 1 charm to get to another charge move here. And yeah, this is going to be a good game. And HOUSESTARK going to be the Baltimore regional champion here with a 3-0 sweep. And still, congrats always to the 2nd place here with Ilqm. They're all going to the championships at the end of the day in Japan, so they're all qualified. It's basically the finals are only for the travel bonus, so you don't have to pay for your travel costs, which is kind of nice. So yeah, here